As a producer who is expected to be prepared, you should have made arrangements for life jackets. Just in case the boat driver didn't have them, you will dress your own people up, because by law and by practice, you wear your life jackets.
While on his way to shoot a movie titled The Other Side of Life, popular Nollywood actor Junior Pope Odonwodo tragically ended up on the other side of life on April 10, 2024. Sadly, the late actor, famous for his role in Professor John Bull, was not alone. Junior Pope died alongside 3 other crew members, the makeup artist, the sound engineer, and the lighting assistant, which has further moved many Nigerians to tears. According to eyewitnesses, it took at least 3 days for the marine police and divers to find the bodies of all the deceased who were trying to cross the Anam River in Asaba to the movie location. Like many young Nigerians, the crew members who didn't make it were hustling for their daily bread through legal means, as opposed to what has become the norm in recent economic crises and inflation. Regardless of the poor pay and extreme demanding work conditions, the struggling Nigerians took the job to make ends meet and cater to their family, all of whom are now beyond devastated since the authorities broke the sad news to them. Even more heartbreaking is the news that none of the deceased could get a decent and dignified burial ceremony because their families could not afford the expenses.
Governor of River State to come and help me. As I dey here nowhere, now that my son will they treat me. Now, no way to treat, no way to help for the family. Anyhow, try to come up and visit the family and see what we go do to carry my son. But because the landlady, they call me, say they split the store for Asaba.
Okay, wait, the landlady, they call it for Asaba?
Yes.
So the spirit, they worry them?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
So, not gonna help me. Not gonna help me. If I know see I go die. Not gonna help me.
No go die, no go die, no go die.
Not gonna help me. Government not gonna help me. Government not gonna help me. Whatever I do, not gonna help me now.
What heartbreaking situation did the victims who couldn't make it alive face? How did Nigerians force the government to spring into action?
Hello guys, it's T-Code here for African Glitz.
The late actor Junior Pope has been the major focus of media since news of a boat carrying 12 crew members capsized on the Anam River in Anambra West local government area. People have begun to shed fresh tears following news that 3 other crew members who are not popular passed alongside the veteran actor. This heartbreaking information was mostly parroted by a movie producer, Stanley Uwonke, who shared the identities of the deceased crew members in a post via his Instagram handle, which he captioned, "Crew Lives Matter." Stanley, while revealing the names of the other crew members, called for the arrest of the movie producer and boat driver for failing to provide life jackets.
Arrest the producer! Arrest the driver! Nollywood producers are the worst part of the producers in the entertainment. They like managing funds for cast and crew. If you complain too much on set, you will be blacklisted immediately. Nollywood has no love for one another, especially Asaba would. Rest in peace, Junior Pope, Friday, Precious, Abigail. 2 of the bodies were recovered yesterday, April 11, 2024, while the last was washed in by the tide this morning, he wrote. Initially, some reports had it that all the deceased were buried by the river, but the authorities confirmed that the bodies of the late actor Junior Pope, the sound engineer Precious Oforum, and the lighting assistant Joseph Anointing had been deposited at the morgue in Asaba, Delta State, until their family members gave them a befitting burial. However, the makeup artist identified as Abigail Frederick was not so lucky. Abigail was a 24-year-old theatre arts graduate who chose to pursue a passion for makeup artistry in the filmmaking industry. As a fresh, struggling graduate from a humble family, the native of Akwa Ibom State risked her life on that uneventful day to earn a keep. Unfortunately, it cost her a life. When the family of the late makeup artist heard the news, despite being in a faraway state, they dropped everything they were doing,
emptied their bank accounts and rushed to the scene of the accident, only to be faced with the deceased lifeless body. In addition to the pain and grief of losing their daughter at such a young age, Abigail's parents were again robbed of giving their beloved daughter a befitting burial, as they were asked to pay 150,000 naira to conduct a sacrifice that would allow them to take her corpse back home for a dignified burial. Nollywood filmmaker and chairman of the Aqua Cross chapter of the Directors Guild of Nigeria, DGN, Moses Esco, said the young lady was buried at the river bank because her father couldn't afford the cost of sacrifice to the river goddess and the ambulance to take her body home. According to Esco, he raised the sum of 310,000 naira from kind Nigerians, out of which 200 was used to cover the transportation cost of Abigail's parents to Asaba and then back home. After Esco made the post, many Nigerians were irritated that he shared a photo of the deceased father online and that he couldn't cover the cost from his own pocket. Daddy Freeze particularly lashed at Nollywood movie producers, querying why they did not raise a sufficient amount of money to ensure that Abigail was properly laid to rest.
So, the producers cannot raise the money, Abi? Now wow, just be famous in this life. The Free Nation would have raised the money in a few hours if only we were informed. Imagine person come up for house, go hustle, then bury him for where go work,
he wrote. One ex-influencer, Dr. Penking, lashed at the AGN executive.
Abigail, the makeup artist who died in the ill-fated boat with Junior Pope, was buried at the riverbank because her family could not afford 150,000 naira to perform the sacrifices needed for the community to release her corpse for proper burial. This is such a big shame. What is even more shameful is that the special assistant to the governor of Akwa Ibom State on entertainment, Mr. Moses Esco, was right there and watched her own sister pushed into a shallow grave like a goat. Shame to you, sir. Akwa Ibom is the #1 oil-producing state in Nigeria, and as a man on the direct payroll of the governor, you mean you couldn't cough out 150,000 naira? Shame on you again, sir. We shall all get what we deserve,
he wrote. Other people massively dragged the governor of Akwa Ibom State for lacking empathy and ignoring Abigail's family in their time of need. In no time, the governor swung into action and ordered that the body of the late makeup artist be exhumed from Riverside and taken to her hometown for a proper burial. Afterwards, Governor Umo Eno paid a condolence visit to the deceased family at their home, where he claimed he was not aware of the heartbreaking situation. The governor offered the deceased elder sister automatic employment in the state civil service and directed the renovation of their family house. On Monday, April 15, 2024, the late Abigail was properly laid to rest in a more dignified burial ceremony at her hometown. Reacting on X, one user wrote,
"What a loss! After going through the university stress, just to die in the river in the name of foolishhood, abi nonsensehood."
One added,
"They died out of carelessness. How much is life jacket compared to life?"
One wrote,
"Good one from Akwa Ibom State Governor. This satanic reverence for deities we have no business with has to end."
One added,
"I hope they observe the necessary rituals before taking away her body, because the family will suffer the consequences later."
Also reacting, a user wrote,
"The world is an evil place. You can see how quick money was raised for this arrangement, but this person has lived more than 20 years on earth and no one was willing to support her dreams."
One asked,
"Please make life jackets mandatory in our riverine area."
One added,
"Their death was tragic. It pains more that she's been recognized now that she's late. May it never be our portion."
My condolences to every one of us, practitioners of Nollywood. We have lost 5 of our colleagues, 2 sound engineers, a makeup artist, an actor, and a production assistant. We have lost them to an avoidable death. Avoidable because all they needed to do to have given them fighting rights would have been to give them a life jacket. When you get in your car, it is a requirement by law that you wear your seatbelt. When you board an aircraft, by law and by practice, you wear your seatbelt. When you get on the boat, you wear your life jacket. Now you get to a jetty and the boat driver says there are no life jackets. You tell him thank you very much. As a producer who is expected to be prepared, you should have made arrangements for life jackets. Just in case the boat driver didn't have them, you will dress your own people up because by law and by practice, you wear your life jackets. For those of us who are from the riverine, some of us can swim, some of us understand the tide, and so we may be able to speculate. But for a group of people who are not good swimmers, don't understand the tide, you put them in the boat without a life jacket, and you have the man ferrying them as an excited young man who has his ears blocked with earpod, probably listening to some music, and then he's the one ferrying people. No preparedness for anything. No guard, nothing. The artist is nothing to an inept producer. You put them. And even the people themselves, you have your rights as an actor. You need to know that you have rights. You should be able to say, I don't have a life jacket, I'm not going anywhere, I don't swim. Because you have right to a body double. If they don't like it, they can get someone else. You will not die. There's several other roles that you can play. Yes, money is hard, the economy is hard, but you see, life is priceless. Today we have a young girl who is her family's sole breadwinner, gone. What will that family say or do? As a producer, it is a requirement that you do your job in a safe, secured, and free of intimidation environment. That's where you are expected to do your work. You need to be prepared, or you don't start. You don't go to location without being prepared. You waste the time of people, and that's why we have all these kinds of unnecessary deaths. Emeka rulers, where are you? This is the one time that we require you to put this up. The actors' welfare must be put on the table. We can't have everybody use us. Third largest producers of film, second highest employer of youth labor, blah, and all for what? Everything. We are the image makers, so we can't allow this happen. If we down tools, everybody will down tools. Let's put the actors' welfare on the table. We can't take one more unnecessary death. This death was avoidable. If the actors stood their ground and said, no, we're not boarding until we have life jackets, somebody will be alive today. If the producer made arrangements and ensured that there were life jackets, today the story will be different. So nobody should talk to me about fate. There is no fate. You people think all that God did was just so you can die untimely and in this manner. Look, actors' welfare on the table, please.
Take a stand. Say no, sir. If you're a member of a guild, make a call immediately. Except your guild is comatose, or your president or chairman is non-functional. Take it and say, sir, they want me to enter a forest and there's snakes here and I cannot. And the guilt should swing into action immediately, not after. I just showed some people the video of Mr. Emmanuel that was almost killed on the set because the producer brought an actor who did not have a driver's license. And he was almost crushed. Went to the hospital, and what did the producer marketer do? Nothing. He said they can't do anything to him before this. How much are PAs paid? How can you employ somebody to work for you for 10 days, 15 days, even if it's 7 days? He's lifting generators, tying cables, it's raining, he's out there, we're in the living room, and you give him 10,000 after the end of the day. That's not just a sin, it's a sin against God. You're mounting heaps of unpayable debts on yourself. You pay PA 10,000.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Don't echo, please. Please. We all know this, but we keep pretending that it will get better. We are not doing anything about it. How many times have the crew members gone on strike? Take a stand. How many crew members do we have in Lagos? They're filming in Lekki right now. It's not their business. This is our Nollywood. That's their Nollywood. Death does not hang its clothes on just one man's door. It will get to everybody's turn. There's nothing you can do. When it's time, my time, I go. So no. But you think, would there be any reason for anybody to celebrate you like this? Would there be any reason for anybody to stand up and take the walk we just took now on your behalf? When you do not stand for others, when you are gone, you become nothing. You become inconsequential like the dot on the letter I. Nobody will stand for you. So it will get to everybody's turn. So let's wait. But this industry has gotten to the point where it needs to change. Under a week or so, we have become a mockery. Even people who do not know anything about the film industry are making postulations about how we should run the industry. So some people are saying, oh, the guy was in the water, he was breathing. Is it that none of us could give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? The guy was in water for 3 hours. Come on. Even me, a traditionalist, I know that it's not possible for you to live in the water. There's something called spasm. Even when you are dead, even if you put a dead body in the mortuary, there's a possibility for him to still have after spasms. And everybody has been talking to the industry, bad-mouthing the industry. Everybody has suddenly gone spiritual, telling us the reason why they were killed, why they died. We give them room to do that. Madam President.
Heartbreaking, right? Tell us, guys, what do you think about the other crew members who died in the boat accident alongside Junior Pope? Do you think they are all victims of a dysfunctional country? Finally, do you think the governor of Akwa Ibom made a good call by sponsoring Abigail's exhumation and reburial in her hometown?
Share your opinion in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative, please comment, like and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more well-researched African stories and news we know you'd like. Click on the bell sign to be notified every time we upload a new video so that you don't miss out. Thanks for watching and see you on our next one.